Today I'm sharing my actual vintage resale numbers and what really sold in my antique booth during the month of December. So it is super fun to go out and go thrifting for vintage treasures for the antique booth and take you along on those trips. But if you are curious what is actually selling and how much it sold for, I am going to share all that with you in today's video. So for the month of December, my paychecks totaled $848.70. Now that does include the 10% store commission that the store takes off the top of every single item that I sell. It does not include my booth rent. My rent is based on the square footage of my booth, and it also does not include how much I paid for each item. So how much I paid for each item, I actually work all of that out at the end of the year when I prepare my tax return for my business. But in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what sold. I'll show you a picture of everything, tell you how much I paid for the item, how much it sold for, and the profit margin that that sale represented for me. December was a big month for us, clearly because of holiday shopping, and not all months are going to be this good for me. $848.70 is a good month for me, and it helps me to pay some bills, and it definitely keeps me encouraged and gives me some money to go out shopping again for more stuff. So many smalls sold out of my booth during the month of December that I've decided to break it up into two videos. There was just so many things that were special that I wanted to share. If I share everything, the video will just go on for way too long. This video has several items, but it only represents half of December. Okay, let's get started because I have a lot to share with you. The first thing is that I sold 2 Japanese sake cups. I had a set of the Japanese sake cups in the different Zodiac patterns. Now, of course, you would need 12 to have a whole set, and I didn't have 12. I had 10, and then one broke. I accidentally dropped one down into my garbage disposal when I was washing them. So that was not great. I paid 95 cents for each one of these, and each one sold for $4.50 for a profit margin of 79%. If you're interested, the formula that I use for profit margin, please go into the comments below and type formula, and I will share it with you there in the comments. It's a very simple profit margin formula that I use, and I plug my numbers into Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft Excel calculates the profit margin for me. Next up were 2 tiny miniature Delft, Holland teacup and saucer sets, and they were just absolutely adorable. In this photo, you can see how small they were in the person's hand in the photo. I paid $0 for these because they were a gift from our pet sitter. I often get gifts from people who know that I have an antique booth, and I'm always super grateful for these gifts. I don't sort through boxes of stuff and say, oh, I'll take this, but I don't want this. I just gladly take it all and thank them, and then I sort through the boxes later to see what I will be able to sell, what I might want to just keep for myself, and what I will donate back. So each one of the cup and saucer sets sold for $3.60. Since I paid $0 for them, that represents a 100% profit margin. I had a bunch of this Indiana glass Tierra Amber. That's a lot of different names for one little plate, but these are vintage, beautiful amber glass plates. They were the salad size or the dessert size, and I had them for a very long time. So they had just been sitting. I even thought about taking them out of the booth last spring because I just felt like these colors were not going to sell in the spring and summer, and I didn't take them out, but they finally did sell in the winter. Sure enough, paid $2.09 for each plate. Each plate sold for $9 for a profit margin of 75%. I did get a call that day from the person working the register who said that the customer was offering $60 for the set of 6. So I had $12 per plate on them, and I had to agree to mark them down because I just had them so long and I wanted to get rid of them. So they sold for $10 each, but the price that I'm sharing with you, the sold price, it does include that 10% store commission. The customer paid $10 each, but then when you subtract that 10% that I pay to the store, I got $9 a piece for each plate. Okay, during the month of December, several beer steins sold. Actually, I sold an Avon one from 1979, a German one, a Budweiser one from 1991, and a Brazilian one. And I always used to think that the German beer steins were my favorite, but now that I've seen the Brazilian ones, they are my new favorite. They are just so pretty. The one that I had looked very similar to the one in this picture. I paid $1.49 for it. It sold for $19.80 for a very nice profit margin of 92%. So if you have been watching my channel, you'll know that Corningware blue cornflower sells really well for us in our antique store. And when I see it for good prices and in good condition, I get it. I sold 4 Cornflower blue small plates. They were bread plates or dessert plates. They were $1.07 a piece, and they each sold for $5.40 for profit margin of 80%. I did not have those plates in the booth for very long at all. I stacked them up on a vertical plate stacker so that my customers could really see them on the shelf, and they flew off the shelves. All right, next up, I sold a set of 4 Buffalo China speckled stoneware coffee mugs. Now, this is restaurant ware. There is a whole community of people who are actually into collecting vintage restaurant ware. The stamp on the bottom of the Buffalo China pieces is a really cool stamp. I'll show you a picture here of what it looks like so you can look for it when you're out shopping. Each mug was $1.17. That does include sales tax. This amount that I'm telling you that I paid includes sales tax. Each mug sold for $5.40 for a profit margin of 78%. I just did a recent thrift haul video where I passed by some restaurant stoneware mugs, even though I liked them because I knew I had some in the booth. And come to find out when I went and picked up my December paycheck, they had sold. So I guess I can go ahead and get some more now that I don't have 4 cups sitting in the booth anymore. The next item I am really happy to report finally sold, and it was a large copper etched, hand-painted planter, and it was just lovely. So lovely, in fact, that I put it in the thumbnail of a video that I did back in February 2025. So this just goes to show you that I had that vase in my booth for almost a year. And I had marked it down from $42 to $32. So it sold for $32. I got $29.80 from that sale. I paid $10.69 for it. I got it at Goodwill. Whoever priced it clearly knew that it was something special. That was a profit margin of just 64%, but I am glad that it did finally sell. Before my favorite Value Village closed permanently, which I'm still sad about. I mean, that was just a huge disappointment. It was a great store. I did a thrift haul video at that store where I found a grab bag of stone critters. There were 3 dogs in the bag, little dog figurines. I paid 72 cents a piece for them. The Boston Terrier stone critter sold during the month of December for $12.60 for a very nice profit margin of 94%. All right, next up. A hand-painted bud vase by O'Neill Pottery Company sold. The photo that I'm going to show you looks very similar to the one that I had. I paid $1.49 for this lovely little vase. It sold for $12.60. That is a profit margin of 88%. Okay, I sold a Corningware cup in the pattern First of Spring. I am going for a display of cups, of the Corningware cups in all different patterns, however many I can find. So when I see Corningware cups and they are in good shape for a good price, I buy them because that is just a vision that I have for my booth. I like coffee cups and I like the Corel ones, and I want to have them available to my customers in all sorts of different patterns. This pattern, First of Spring, is a lovely one. I paid $1.62 for the cup. That seems like a lot for a coffee cup, actually. And it sold for $5.40 for a profit margin of just 70%. Goodwill is getting a little bit crazy on their pricing. I'm sure this is not news to you, but yeah, I paid $1.62 for a coffee cup. It used to be that coffee cups were 39 cents plus tax at Goodwill. That has changed. Now they are generally either $1.09 plus tax or $1.39 plus tax, at least in my area where I shop in Metro Atlanta. Also, part of a gift haul that I received last winter was a really cool vintage Dr. Pepper bottle opener that you attach to the wall. Because it was a gift, I paid $0 for it, and it sold for $9 for a profit margin of 100%. Slowly but surely, my cup and saucer sets of the Corningware patterns that were made to complement the Pyrex patterns, slowly but surely, I'm just chipping away at all of that stuff that I have in my booth. I sold 2 Snowflake Garland cup and saucer sets. I love this pattern. In fact, I don't even really think it needs to be a winter pattern. I just like it that much. It's got a snowflake on it, but I just really love the blue and white color of it. Each set was $1.07, and each set sold for $10.80 for a nice profit margin of 90%. I will say that my Snowflake Garland has been selling better than my Butterfly Gold has been selling. So just an insight into the more popular patterns. The Butterfly Gold has been difficult to move for me, but the Snowflake Garland and the Spring Blossom have been much better sellers. All right, next up, when I went in and dug into my bookkeeping for the purposes of this video and also to get ready for tax season, which is coming up, I had this cookbook. Actually, it's a Christmas book, so it was not only recipes but also crafts and things. I'd had it since prior to 2023, so for quite a while. It was a 1989 Family Circle Christmas book. I paid $3.21 for it. It sold for $10.80 for a profit margin of just 70%. Super happy that someone saw it and liked it enough to buy it, and hopefully they did some of the crafts and made some of the recipes. Also from Value Village, before they closed, I got a set of Anchor Hocking Art Deco 1940s kitchenware. The grease jar sold in the month of December. I paid just $3.42 for it. These are highly collectible. The grease jar alone sold for $29.80 for a lovely profit margin of 89%. Next, I sold a single Pyrex blue bowl. It's the 401 bowl from the Primary Colors set. The Primary Colors set is iconic. It was produced by Pyrex in the 1950s and 60s. You don't have to have a whole set of these mixing bowls to get a good sale out of them. I very often see the yellow one in good shape, the largest one, and I have sold the small blue one a couple of times. The red one and the green one, for some reason, the paint just doesn't hold as well as it does on the yellow one and the blue one, and I'm not sure why that is. I paid just $1.49 for the small blue bowl. It sold for $16.20 for a not too shabby profit margin of 91%. Okay, and finally, I had a hand-painted Chinese cat figurine for quite a while. I was kind of surprised at how long it sat. Usually cat figurines fly off the shelves for me. This one I'd had it for a while. I paid just $1.49 for it. It looked almost exactly like the one in the picture. It sold for $12.60 for a profit margin of 88%. All right, so as I was saying, that's just half of my December sales, but there were so many, I thought, interesting things anyway, that I didn't want to leave a bunch of stuff out just for the sake of the length of the video. So I will do a second video where I do the second half of December. And then finally, we're going to do our cat for the day calendar reading. This kitty got the second place prize for this calendar. And let me put this closer so you can see. And here is what the caption says. I'm puzzled why you want to hang out with these cardboard cats when I'm right here, Kiki's gaze seems to say, but Amy Lacey from Jacksonville, Florida offers a different perspective. Kiki loves helping me with my cat puzzles, Amy says. While I'm working on a puzzle on my coffee table, she hops up to sprawl in the middle of it. Apparently, though, the Scottish Folds execution still needs work. I'll come downstairs in the morning to find the puzzle pieces on the floor or moved around, adds Amy. It takes me a little longer to finish the puzzle, but it's worth it. That's Kiki the Scottish Fold, and I decided I'm not going to worry about the days on the calendar when I read these, because the day that I'm filming the video won't be the day that you see the video anyway, because it takes me some time to edit the video and upload it. So I'll just choose a cat of the day at random, I suppose. Well, I hope you found today's video valuable. In terms of what sold for me in a holiday shopping month, it's definitely not representative of every month. In fact, January is going to be slow. February is probably going to be slow. We will probably be slow until April, which is when spring break is in Georgia, and lots of people will hopefully come visit us during spring break. And then we should stay fairly busy throughout the summer into the fall, hopefully. If you do enjoy this type of content, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. As I was saying, I will do another one of these videos with the other half of December very soon. I will also give you a breakdown of my entire year in the antique business very soon. And I will definitely keep doing the thrift haul videos and the tips and tricks and advice videos for owning and operating an antique booth or vintage resale business. So as always, it was great to have you here today, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.